I'm so happy to say Chantal Kreviazuk joins us from her home in Los Angeles. Hi, Chantal. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Tom, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. I feel like the last time I talked to you, you were in isolation with your husband in a film, and now you're in a completely other kind of isolation. How is this isolation going for you?
Yeah, it's so funny. I had forgotten we even talked about that. The last interview that jumps out way more is I think I was in studio with you maybe or something. I don't know. I guess we have our history, right?
Yeah.
No? Am I losing my mind? Yeah. So yeah, wow, it's almost like the before and the after, isn't it? The pre-COVID life and the now.
How are you holding up at home?
It's turning into Groundhog Day, the Bill Murray film, a bit. Trying to keep it, trying to keep it light, setting goals each day with my husband. Trying to create structure for the whole family. I do a show every day at 4 that helps me have structure on my Instagram. And the kids have been incredible. I think about being a teenager and it's like, I just don't know. It's so hard for them, right? So we're trying to support each other.
I heard you were sick for a while. Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, probably. We probably had COVID, I'm assuming because of all my symptoms, but we did get a test at some point and it was negative. I don't know about the test we had. And then I've been reading about the test we had, and it sounds like it wasn't a very good test. It was when all of a sudden they were sending out these finger blood tests that you can see the answer in a second. I really don't know, but we sure had something. And I've never been that sick in my adult life, other than like I've had pneumonia before, and this was worse, in my opinion.
It must have been
That said,
terrifying.
I had my lungs. What's that, Tom?
It must have been terrifying.
It was so scary to have that during a pandemic and not know what it was and not be sick enough that I needed oxygen to go to the hospital to get it. It was hard. But we also have some asthma in this house. And so that made it even more petrifying. And anyway, we're seemingly past that. And I'd love to do an antibody test now to see, because they're saying that it takes a few weeks sometimes for it to show up. So I'd love to have that. And then, hey, like if I could contribute to there's a plasma station set up in LA, you can go and give your blood. Like I'd love to participate in that. So I'm going to start digging into that.
As you mentioned, you're there in LA. Are you staying in touch with your family in Canada at all?
I am. And I have to say it's really busy. Our daily life here is really, really busy. We have obviously 3 boys. There's meals to cook. There's cleaning to do. There's creativity, responsibilities, work and otherwise. And so I'm very much in contact with my family and friends, but it's not like, hey, I'm bored, let's do a FaceTime. Like it's not quite like that, being a mother in an active home like this. I was thinking about this week and it's like, it's full through the weekend right now of various activities and scheduled stuff. And I've been hearing from other people too, that somehow in an active household, it's seemingly busier and more tiresome than the other life. The other life had a little more driving in it, and we were being paid. But this is very, very busy without the driving and being paid.
I know. I can't get over how busy I am. I really thought I'd be in my pajamas playing video games, but I'm having to turn down phone calls. I mean, I thought I'd have nothing to do.
I know, it's crazy. I know.
How are you finding it with the kids? How are you finding it with your family all together? Everyone getting along?
Not always, no. Sometimes it's great. But I don't know. It's sort of like there's this extra added hopeless feeling when there's a moment of contention because no one's going to leave and go to school or to some practice or something and get it out and come home anew. It's like, we're having a bad moment, and it will just kind of reverberate for a while in the same space, or there's a door slam. There's more slamming of doors, I think, than normally.
The doors are having a hard pandemic. I understand. It's
our times are taking a beating.
Well, I'm hoping you're getting out for a walk every now and then.
Yeah, and we get out for walks, and there's a lot of good stuff too. I mean, there's a lot of music being made and family dinners, and we're having a movie night tomorrow night, and we're seeing our kids more, and we're learning about who they are, and we're learning about ourselves. It's tough. It's tough stuff.
It's tough all over. It's tough for everybody. And it's just nice to hear that like kind of everybody's facing the same kind of challenges right now. And that's sort of the point of this whole show we're doing. I think your son is there with you, right? Rowan, is he kicking around? Can he come in?
Yeah, Rowan, come on in, honey. Rowan joins me on my Insta Live a lot. So I told him, okay, this is similar, just no cussing maybe, because we're on CBC on my Insta. We kind of run amok with the mouths a bit.
A little bit here and there.
Here and there.
Yeah, I got caught a couple times. Not gonna lie, it was bad.
I'm glad you can keep it PG for us, Rowan. It's much appreciated.
Oh, we lost your audio there for a second, guys. Try that again. I'm glad you're keeping it PG for us, Rowan. It's much appreciated.
Of course.
He's learning about the CBC.
Yeah, there you go.
Rowan, how are you finding it? Rowan, how are you finding it being home with your mom and dad?
It's different. I'm usually not in the house a lot because of school and activities after school, basketball training, what have you, or music, whatever. But like, I think a lot of the time it's a lot of fun, and then some of the days we're just kind of butting heads a little bit too much. I think with all the families, like it gets a little bit hard, but it's fun. I mean, I miss seeing my friends and stuff, but it is what it is. I like the.
Are you able to talk to your friends at all? Are you able to communicate with them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like a lot of FaceTiming, but like I'm also busy. Like I have workouts and I have to do school stuff, so there's a limited time for it. But like, yeah, of course, like definitely a lot of FaceTimes and stuff.
And he's recording an EP, so he's busy with that too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Rowan. It seems you're following in the family lineage. I mean, your dad's Raine Maida, your mom is Chantal Kreviazuk. I mean, you're following in the lineage.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to kind of like I've learned a lot from my dad. Like I can play instruments and stuff, but he's a great producer, and like in just their music minds, like I don't have that as well as I can play piano or something like that. So learning from them in that aspect is cool.
Are you able to go to them and show them ideas that you're working on and get advice from them?
Yeah, all the time. I bring my mom in the studio. I beg her sometimes when she's like watching a movie or something. I'm like, Mom, come on, let's go. But I have to pull her out sometimes. But yeah, definitely a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
Chantal, that must be so meaningful to you.
Yeah, you would think that every time he says, Mom, come, blah, 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 I would be just like, oh, it's so amazing. But a lot of the times I'm like, oh my God, we created a monster. Because it's all the time. It's like constant. And also, this is so horrible. When I was a kid, I used to sing all the time. I can remember one of my best girlfriends, Bryn, she'd be like, shut up, because I was always singing. Like they couldn't have the radio on, I was singing. And that's him.
Yeah.
And now it's payback. Same with having to like nail the window shut. Like there's so much payback with him. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he's basically, Raine and I have decided he's Raine and me combined in one person. So it's like utterly horrifying on so many levels and really amazing, right? But like, yeah, he'll be like, Mom, can you come and, help me? And or he walks through the kitchen singing, and you'd think I would be like, oh, he's singing, it's so nice. And I'm like, Rowan, shut up. I'm trying to live my life.
Yeah.
It's pretty
You're
funny.
seeing what you put your parents through, Chantal. You're seeing what you put your parents through.
They were better behaved about me, I think, on a lot of levels. Like they handled me.
I think they're also more amazed. I think they're also
they were more amazed by
She
my
doesn't care. She's like, okay, that's so good. And then like she leaves. I'm like, oh.
My parents like camp out.
Yeah.
They just camp out.
Once she walks into the studio, once I pull her out, she wants to get right back to whatever she's doing. But no, she helps me out.
Well, I'm going to ask a I'm going to ask a question to each of you before we get to some music. Rowan, I'll start with you. What's the first thing you're looking forward to when you're able to get outside again?
Honestly,
a haircut.
yeah, either a haircut because this is just not okay. But probably seeing friends and stuff, or going back to school. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I've like the break from my family, like in like going to school and then coming home and seeing them, like that's like very healthy. So like I think getting out of the house and like getting a break from my family, like not that I don't love them, I don't love spending time with them, but it's just it's getting, sometimes it's a little too much of the bumping heads, because like there's always stuff we're nitpicking each other for. So I think getting out of the house and just kind of taking a break from everybody and then coming back to them, that'll be good.
You might appreciate
refreshing.
Yeah, might appreciate each other more.
Or refreshing, yeah.
Yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's what they say.
Yeah.
He wants to be absent at this point, Tom. Very absent.
Chantal, how about you? What's the first thing you're looking forward to when the time comes that you can get out?
I've thought a few times about walking back out on a stage, and it makes me really emotional. Like I sometimes think that's just never going to happen again.
Okay, it'll be fine. It'll be all right.
It's hard, like I think like the first time I just want to warn whoever's watching, the first time I walk out on a stage in Toronto, I'm probably just going to sit down and just sob for a while.
I understand. I really do.
I swear to God, because like the way people are talking, and the reality of this thing, it does sound like it's going to take, even if we go back to life and social distancing, it's going to take people a while to feel comfortable going in a crowd, right? And I have to say, I've been like, my audience has been so beautiful and adorable and gracious and showing up every day. And now by the thousands, people are watching, the show over the 24 hours that it's up. And like, that's just like so meaningful. I don't know if I could have ever felt that kind of meaning in my career. So that's a silver lining of this. But that feeling you get when you're side stage, and I will never again in my life ever stand side stage and go, oh, I don't have it in me tonight. Or, what is this going to be like? Or I don't like that. Like, because you as a performing artist, you sometimes are fatigued. But I think that there will be a new appreciation for being able to stand side stage, and then walk out and face your audience. That is just going to be really emotional.
I know. I think about it every day. I was talking to someone the other day who said that, like, he said, I think when I just go back to my office, I think when I get to go to a grocery store and I don't have to stay 6 feet from people, I think I'm just going to start crying. Like, yes, all of those things that we took for granted. Yeah.
The catharsis it will be to have our things that we didn't really think of as a privilege.
Things you don't notice, and then you get taken away, and you're like, oh man, I missed that. I missed the little stuff, and it's like, dang, I would give anything to go back to that.
Sorry, I embarrassed you there, honey, for crying. I didn't expect myself to cry, but the words.
It was called a beautiful TV moment, Rowan. That's what it's called, a beautiful TV moment.
It's like literally, I see a stage. I hear the word stage, and I see it, and it makes me emotional, and it's never felt like that before.
Rowan, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take care, man. Stay safe, and
of course,
help your folks out. Chantal, can I say this, man? I think I say it to you every time I talk to you. I think you're one of the most gifted writers, especially melody writers, we've ever had in this country.
Thank you.
I love your song so much.
You're so, I think you're gifted, because I remember, I don't know if it was the last time I interviewed with you or the time before, but you started like spewing out like deep tracks of mine from like 1978 or when I was 5 years old. I was like, wait a second, have you had a camera on me since I was a toddler? It was really like, I have to say it, because you're obviously one of our most, prolific journalist, writer, anchor people in the country, and I'm proud to do an interview with you. Never mind be so a part of your fabric of your musical brain. I'm very honored. Thank you.
I sang Wayne yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the whole like I'm cool. I can talk to anybody down so well. And then you say, I sang Wayne yesterday. And I go, oh, listen, he's fake with me. He's a fan. I know you're a fan. Here we go. Tom, just wait for me. I'll be back on your show in the studio in a jiffy.
You're killing me.
I don't know. I made that up. There's my writing skill just for you. Tom.
I think I'm going to retire. I think I'm going to retire right now.
I'll be back in your studio in a jiffy. I mean, who can write that in a moment, right? Like that's...
Chantal, you're the world's greatest. I love you. I'm such a big fan. Thanks a lot for doing this today.
Okay, now it's all coming out. Keep going, Tom. Keep going. That was good.
You're the best. I'm dying about you. You go on. I'll see you in Toronto. And we'll both cry together.
We'll have a cry. Thanks, Tom.
Bye, buddy.